And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, June 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are on a Thursday after the holiday yesterday. The sun is shining. Going to be a tremendous day, and we're glad to have you with us. We're on the air each Thursday at this time for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Ronnie Kelly's with us this morning, and Ronnie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How was your day yesterday?
It was a good day on yesterday. Sold a car, too.
You didn't take the day off?
Didn't take the day off. It was a work day.
Well, I'm glad to hear you sold a car, too.
Yes. I looked at, I didn't take yesterday off, but I did take Tuesday off.
Oh, okay.
But I came on Monday. It was kind of hot outside, and we kind of do a lot work, and we got everything going. And I said, Tuesday, I had to take off to recuperate.
Well, Paul Tubbs, the general manager, is not with us this morning. He's probably celebrating UT's baseball victory yesterday.
I say he probably is. If he had a chance, he probably would play golf on yesterday, but I don't think he had a chance on yesterday.
Well, I don't think I said Bates Ford was the dealer to trade for anything it don't eat, but that's been going on since about 08, 09, and it's been a clever line that has got attention. Ronnie, you really have. You can go places and somebody, if you even mention Bates Ford or they see anything, they've heard about this.
Yes, that's been a very successful when he came up with that slogan, and we got a lot of phone calls about that also from some English teachers saying it's not proper English. So we kind of went on, and a few people called him and talked to him about that, and he was okay with it.
Well, if that's the worst English rule you break, you hadn't done too bad.
But if you get one of them school teachers back in the day, they really particular about that.
You're right.
They were really serious about it.
What do you got on the lot you'd like to sell really bad today?
Well, on the lot we'd like to really sell today is the F-150.
Yeah?
We got an F-150. We have some 2023s left over, and we do have 1.9 on 72 months, and that's a great deal, plus a $1,000 rebate. And that's one thing that on F-150, they are great trucks. They've been the best-selling truck for the last 47 years. And also, you can go to the banks right now. Interest rates are really high, but Ford got a great rate. And not only on F-150, but other vehicles that we have also. We got some great rates and some great incentives. So if you're needing a car today, you need to come on down to Bates Ford and talk to one of our friendly sales staffs, and we can take care of you.
And you'll be there, till 7 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, we'll be here till 7 o'clock tonight now. I'll probably be there till 5. But we will open.
But you have salespeople there till 7, right. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday till 7 o'clock, and on Saturday it'll be 8 until 6.
Well, I notice I see the F-50, but there's an F-150.
Right.
And then there's an F-250. I think I saw F-350.
F-350, and we also have 450. We have 550s.
Are they just larger trucks?
Larger truck for, if you got a lot of work you need done, and a lot of time the F-250 start with a diesel, then with 350 with diesel, 450 diesel, and we can get gas engines in those trucks also. But if you're doing a lot of work, it's best to have a diesel.
Yeah. Well, I guess if Paul was here, he'd want to talk about the cheapest oil change in town, and you still got that going for as little as $39.95.
Yes, most of 5 quarts.
And that's been a big hit too. I mean, a lot of people take advantage of that.
Right, they take advantage of that. Also, once Paul changed the oil, he don't just change the oil. He do a final inspection on the car and tell you something. He go through a checklist, and if there's something wrong with it, he'll say, "Hey, you can get this fixed now. You can wait till later." And that's a great thing. Also, when you come in and get a full inspection.
Well, I know you sell a lot of tires. You've got great prices on tires and a pretty good warranty with them as well. But the battery is something that's really caught on, and you have batteries at a great price.
Right. We have batteries that I think it was $149.95. I think some of them went up to $179, but we have a great price on those. As a matter of fact, I had a guy came in the other day, and we had a Nissan. We put a battery in at a great price. He couldn't get it done nowhere else any cheaper. And that's one thing about our batteries. We do have a great price on them, and once he put them in most cars, he don't charge anything extra to put them in,
right.
and they got that great warranty.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I had one that was in my wife's car for 2 years, and I took it back the other day and put one in, replaced it with no money.
Well, you've got a lot going for you, and of course, a new location at 1780 Franklin Road. Last week we were talking about even there's still a thing or two you're working on that you didn't get done in the beginning, but people have adjusted. Y'all have adjusted, and sales are good.
Yes.
Everything looks going well.
Right, and we got a lot of pre-owned cars right now. We got a great selection of pre-owned cars, and in any type, that you have. I mean, not just Ford, but we got so many used cars. I say we got about 300 used cars on our lot right now.
And Ronnie's just waiting to sell you one.
Yes,
right.
Just waiting to sell one. And we at 1780 Franklin Road, our new location. A lot of times people forget about where we are. We still have people to go to the old location, and they finally find our location.
Yeah. Well, good to have you today. Have a great week. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Ronnie Kelly in sales at Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer. It'll trade for anything that don't eat. Well, this being the particular Thursday this is the Thursday Jeff Baines of the city of Lebanon sends me a guest. Occasionally, Jeff comes, but usually he sends someone. And today, we have Jeremiah Exum with us this morning, the water treatment manager. And let me welcome you and say good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to have you with us today. And find out, before we get into our topic of sewer odors, which I hope doesn't disturb too many people's breakfast or whatever this morning, but that's what we're going to be talking about. But Jeremiah, how long have you been with the city?
Almost 2 years now.
What'd you do before that?
Same thing, wastewater treatment.
Somewhere else?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Well, how long have you been in Lebanon?
Just about 2 years. I moved up in here in November of 22.
But you moved from Florida?
Yes, sir.
Why? Well, if I can ask, get a little personal here, why'd you pick Lebanon? There's 94 other counties you could go to.
I heard the weather's better than Florida. No, I'm just kidding. I have family up here in Manchester.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, have you met MJ?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, she came from Florida, too, and she stayed, so.
An Ocala person.
Well, as water treatment manager, what's your, can you kind of give us a job description? What's that all about?
Sure. We have the treatment plant there on Hartman Drive, and obviously sewage comes into the treatment facility. In charge of making sure all that equipment runs, processes the sewage, and produces compliant final effluent out to the Cumberland River.
To be the treatment manager, is this something you pretty much maybe learned on the job, or did you go to college or have special training for this?
There's on-the-job training as well as certifications that you get from whatever state entity that you're involved with. Down in Florida, it was Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Up here in Tennessee, it's Tennessee Department of Environmental Conservation.
Well, so this is what you've been doing since you came here to be the water treatment manager, I take it.
That's correct.
Right. Well, there are a number of things we want to talk about this morning, but you've sent me some good notes here, and we start out talking about sewer complaints submitted from residents about the sewer smell, and so expound on that a little bit, if you will.
Sure. We've had complaints from some of the residents on some of the odors, objectionable odors that come particularly from the treatment facility, but we've looked around the whole as a collections as well, and just trying to do source odor identification. At the treatment facility in particular, there's some biosolids processing units that we've identified that put up the majority of the objectionable odors that we're in the process right now of rehabilitating.
Well, is there one time of the year that's worse than others for this?
It can vary. Summertime, obviously, if you have exposed tanks with sludge in them, you can get some of those sewer odors generated, as well as in lift stations that there might be low flows in. During times of the day has a lot to do with it as well. And then even during the winter time when the air is heavier and dense, seems like we get odor complaints as well.
Do you get many complaints about this? Or you obviously, I would think if it's too undesirable, too pronounced, that people are going to tell you about it.
That's right.
What can you do, or what can you tell them?
The biggest thing that we can do, especially depending on where the resident is located, for them to fill out an odor complaint form really helps. It helps us kind of identify the area that they're in or where they're telling us about the odors and everything. So we can go out there and look in the area and see if there's, if it's within the area of the plant. I can see if there's winds that are prevailing winds coming that way with one of our tanks online. It could be one of the tanks offline and some of the sludge drying out in it. It could be a pump station within 100 feet of their house that they're not aware of. Could be air release that we could put a charcoal filter on to be able to mitigate some of those odors that they're smelling during certain times of the day. But really just to get out there and investigate the area that they're smelling it at.
Do people usually understand your explanation?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Well, there are a lot of contributing factors, and then even where you live.
That's right.
Can have a lot to do with this, right?
Yes, 100%. Like I said, if you live, what I've been noticing in the last 6 to 8 months of tracking some of the odor complaints via the city website and odor complaint form, good 1.5 to 2 mile radius around the plant, we're getting some of those odor complaints. And a lot of times it's, like I said, when the prevailing winds are going in the direction of those communities.
I'm sure you have some contact, some dialogue with people in other cities who deal with this. Is this pretty common? Something pretty common is dealt with.
Yes, sir. It's a common practice to track odors and do what we can to mitigate them. If it's chemical addition in the collection system, if it's biofilters, if it's scrubber towers at the treatment plant, whatever that looks like to try and mitigate some of those odors. It's definitely not isolated to the city of Lebanon.
Yeah, right. Okay, time for us to take a break. Jeremiah Exum, the water treatment manager for City of Lebanon, is here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $17.80. Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We see some heavy traffic volume leaving Hendersonville westbound on Vietnam Vets. They're a Conference Drive. It's gotten even heavier now in that construction out in Rutherford County, Murfreesboro area, 24 westbound at Joby Jackson. That's snagged traffic there for quite a while, at least over an hour, hour and a half. That's really slow up through that stretch of Rutherford County on 24 westbound at Joby Jackson. Princess Hot Chicken now offers Uber Eats delivery and also DoorDash. Check out the menu, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook A.G. & Johnson Realty. A.G. & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
We continue here on this Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. Jeremiah Exum, the water treatment manager for the City of Lebanon, is here. We talk generally about what you do and some problems with odors and this sort of thing. One of the things on the notes that was sent me that I found interesting was that there are sewage pumping stations in residential areas. There are 82 stations in the city, mainly in the proximity of residential neighborhoods. 82 of those. That's a lot.
That's correct. I think as a whole, I think there's about, I want to say 86 or 87 pump stations as a whole in the city.
Do you have to maintain those? They go bad or have a problem sometimes?
We have a collection team as well as a lift station team that maintains those on a regular basis.
Well, there's the sewer air release valves, and talk about that a little. What's the purpose and what
So on the collection force mains throughout, again, the city as a whole, there are probably hundreds of miles of force mains around the city. And anywhere that you might have a low spot in that force main line, you have the potential for hydrogen sulfide gas to build up in that area during lower flows because the pipe isn't full all the time. So that hydrogen sulfide gas needs somewhere to be released to so that don't build up on the top of the pipe. A lot of times those pipes are ductile iron, and over time, usually decades, but still those force mains go in a long time, and it can build up on the top of that and degrade the line and end up causing a failure on the line.
Is your job mostly maintenance? Would we say is that a good word?
So we have a collections and lift station manager. So my purpose here at the city is actually the sewer treatment plant. So it's what's coming in. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't work together on whatever we have to do inside the collection and lift stations, because as a whole, it's all kind of one entity,
Well, how are we with the population that we have and with the growth that we are experiencing and anticipating? Where do we stand there sewer wise?
Right now we're looking pretty good. We have plenty of capacity at the plant. It's a 10 million gallon a day plant is the way it was designed. During peak flows with I influent infiltration during rain events back on the 10th, we had a pretty major rain event here last month. We can see upwards of 35 million coming into the plant for a short time that we can process some of that flow, and we can push probably, I want to say it's 22 million gallons a day out the backside over to the river, and then we have equalization basins to mitigate that. But on a regular basis, 5 to 6 million gallons a day of average flow without any I is what we're experiencing. Now, obviously, those numbers are up and going up with the population increase, but the city is looking at alternative methods for capacity upgrades.
What happens with all this?
With
after you've treated?
After we treated it, basically it goes to a wet well that has ultraviolet lights in there for disinfection. We have a series of 7 transfer pumps that transfers it to the Cumberland River, pretty much. And it goes downstream, and the next water treatment facility for drinking water collects that in conjunction with the rest of the water in the Cumberland River for drinking water.
Is one time of the year you have busy? Is it pretty much steady the whole year? I guess is what I'm wondering. Or are there peaks and valleys in even in this?
Yes, sir. During wintertime is the rainy season. So with rainy season comes influent infiltration into the system, and our flows go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how are we looking for the growth that we are anticipating? You answered that a little bit, I believe, but what I'm wondering about too is some of our infrastructure, some of the pipes that's in the ground or whatever, been here for a long time. I think we've had a job to replace some of those, and I don't know how much you're actually involved in that, but talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we have multiple rehabilitations on the force mains in the system to increase capacity, reduce I, repair any parts of the system. Ongoing for each fiscal year. The new fiscal year is coming up in July. We have projects going in for the pump stations themselves for rehabilitation projects, as well as SCADA, which is control system upgrades for those pump stations. And then at the treatment plant itself is ongoing with capital projects on rehabilitating basins and making sure that we're up to snuff on our infrastructure.
As far as employees, how many people does it take for this operation?
At my treatment facility, I have 17 people, and 11 of those are operations staff that actually work the plant.
Is that about normal for a city our size and so on?
Yes, sir, I would say so.
Do you anticipate adding any more anytime soon? No.
Right now, I'm fully staffed. As the city grows, and as we need more employees, I'm sure that those numbers will come up.
When people, even like I'm asking you here, talk to you about this, what's some of the most common questions that you're asked? What do people want to know?
That is a good question. It's kind of funny because a lot of people don't really ask questions until something bad is going on.
Yeah.
It's just usually objectionable odors or an overflow or something like that. But really just the process of how wastewater is treated, people like to know. And really it's just a biological process with microorganisms in the system that do the majority of the work.
Do you anticipate serious changes in the way that this is done? Over time, how we do things does change as new ideas and new inventions, whatever, come along. Looking 10 years, 20 years down the road, will we still be doing pretty much what we're doing now, or do you think there'll be some drastic changes even?
I think with the treatment methods for activated sludge process, I believe that's going to be pretty standard. It's been pretty standard. Obviously, there's 5 or 6 different ways that you can do, probably more than that you can do activated sludge process and treatment plant design. As a whole, I think it'll stay somewhat standard, but in other states, we're already looking at indirect and direct potable reuse situations where you'll take your final effluent, which is kind of already what happens whenever you discharge to somewhere of a receiving water body, and a downstream facility might pick that up. It's diluted, but it is, in a sense, a form of indirect potable reuse where your final reclaimed water is being diluted down and used again. I mean, the same water that's on the planet's been here since day one. We ain't making any new water,
That's one way to look at it. I hadn't exactly thought about it like that, but that's true. The rain falls from the sky and goes through the cycle and is evaporated by the sun. I guess goes back up, becomes a cloud, rains again.
That's
same
right.
water.
That's right.
And I hadn't exactly thought about that, but I think you got to be right on that one.
Yeah.
So we just need to take care of it and do proper treatment, and then everything's going to be all right.
You got that right.
Yeah. Well, anything else you think of that you'd like to remind people of this morning? Again, of course, if you have an odor problem, these complaint forms are available. Are they available online?
Yes, sir. At the city website at LebanonTN.org, you can go to the search bar and type in odor complaint form, and that'll give you a direct link to fill that out.
Yeah. Well, Pete Norman is going to be my guest on part 2, and he's here early this morning and already brought me a big cup of coffee. Uncle Pete, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What question would you like to ask Jeremiah Exum this morning?
It's not a question, it's a thank you. He's got a job that I know a little bit about from the military that's thankless unless something breaks or unless something smells bad. The rest of the time we disregard him and his crew and his place of business. We just assume that everything's going to be okay, but it's not. And people could help him by not flushing some of the things down the toilets. One of them is wipes and baby wipes. They don't deteriorate. Look at the packages on some of these things, and don't try to flush everything, including the cat, down the toilet.
That's something we hadn't got to, Jeremiah. I'm sure you echo that.
No, he's completely right. Even the ones that say flushable, they get jammed up in the pump stations, and that can cause overflows. And if the pump station itself isn't pumping water, that has the potential to overflow in your house because your house ultimately goes to that pump station.
Yeah, and it will gum up a pump, and the pump will quit, and they've got to come out and take it all apart. And I've seen them on the side of the road with a big pile in a bucket, and they're things that shouldn't have been in the toilet.
Yeah. So is there a particular rule or an expression as to what to and not to put in the toilet?
I got to tell you, the only thing that should go down there is waste and toilet paper, really, to be completely honest.
And if you want to have an exemplary system and a minimum of problems. Keep that in mind.
Got that right.
And not only keep it in mind, practice it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we got 1 minute to go again. If you do have a complaint, there's a complaint form. You can get www.lebanontn.org and search the bar for the odor complaint form, and then I guess you just do it online, and you'll get it and investigate and take it from there. Yes,
I did want to make mention of one other thing. Right. We have a project going on right now with our biosolids production units. We're rehabbing those tanks, and that's going to go on till the end of summer. So if you do smell strong objectionable odors around the vicinity of the area of the treatment facility there on Hartman, it's likely because we're replacing the roofs and rehabilitating those tanks so that we don't have odors in the future.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you coming out, and I'm sure we'll do it again one of these times. And we can thank Jeff Baines as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jeremiah Exum, the water treatment manager for City of Lebanon, and that is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It continues to run slow on 24 westbound, coming up through Rutherford County this morning because of some road work there near Joby Jackson. That really delayed a lot of folks trying to get out of Rutherford County, Murfreesboro area, headed towards Nashville. It's crowded now down through Millersville on 65 southbound there through that section of Sumner County. It's starting to pick up even more with more volume over here in Hermitage on 40 westbound there at Central Pike. Behind it, you got all that traffic coming in from Wilson County. Princess Hot Chicken is hiring. Go by and see them. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford. Have I got some exciting news for you? Bates Ford's moved into our new location at 1780 Franklin Road. That's right, Bates Ford's at 1780 Franklin Road, just off Hartman Drive and Interstate 40. We've got a much larger selection of vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art double-sized service department. So come see us at 1780 Franklin Road. That's Bates Ford, 615-444-8221. Bates Ford, the dealer will trade for anything that don't eat.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
But mostly sunny and warmer conditions for today with highs in the lower 90s. Tonight looks partly cloudy, lows in the lower 70s. The sunshine continues for Friday and Saturday, highs in the mid-90s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
And welcome to part two of Coleman and Company. Thanks for joining us, and our thanks to our friends A.G. and Johnson, who advertise with us in this time period each Thursday. And Hayden White is with us this morning. Hayden, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you, of course. A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction at 728 West Main in Lebanon. www.agandjohnson.com, and that telephone number is 615-444-0909. You can be Helene for a second here.
0909.
What's on your mind this morning?
Well, we don't have an auction this Saturday, unfortunately. But next Saturday, we're going to be out on Ramsey Road, out there off of, Ramsey Lane, Ramsey Lane, out there off Sugar Flat, out in Jerry Dowell's country.
Okay.
Back out there.
Yeah.
We've got 40 acres out there and 6 tracts. And this property offers something that I haven't ever laid eyes on. One of these tracts has an old silo. And this silo has a full tree grown through it. It's something to see.
Has a tree?
A fully grown tree inside the silo.
Oh, wow.
I know what you're talking about.
And it is something to see. I ain't ever laid eyes on something like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's part of what someone's going to be purchasing.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It's offered on one of the tracks. It is offered on one of the tracks, but these tracks lay beautiful. There's a house out there as well. The house is, let's see here. Let's see if I can get you some info on it. The house is on 7 acres. It's spacious. It's got a front, side porches. Features a living room with a fireplace, a den with a fireplace, a kitchen dining room area, stainless steel appliances, an office, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, laundry room, central heat and air, utility water, a basement with a 2-car garage, a large storage work area, and it's ready for your personal updates.
This is not too far, I take it, from the Carthage Highway, Highway 70 in?
Very, very close.
Right. To the north?
So if you're going down 70, there's old Sugar Flat Church right there.
Mm-hmm.
Old Rock Church. Take a right there, and then your first left.
Oh, okay. So it would be to the south then. Okay. On the right side of 70 where you make your turn. Okay.
That's correct.
But not far from Highway 70, so you're not all that far from town even.
No, you can be here in a quick minute.
Yeah. Well, that's next Saturday.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right. In the meantime, if you're wanting to have an auction.
Give us a call. We'll be happy to speak to you about your options.
But it does take, you can't just call you today and have one in 2 weeks. It would be an awful rushed one if you did that.
Yeah, we like ample time just to be able to get all of our ducks in a row, cross our I's, and dot our T's.
Well, but you put a lot into your auctions. You have some good auctioneers, but you have a real nice flyer that usually comes out very colorful with beautiful pictures on this. I think you do a really fine job.
We do, and we have the opportunity to mail those out to you. If you're interested in keeping up with our sales, call the office. We can put you on our mailing list. We can also put you on our email blast as well. If you don't want something to look at, if you want to get it on your desktop or whatever, we have the opportunity to get these sales out to you and let you be notified of them.
Yeah, another thing, of course, Helene usually talks about you don't have to have an auction to have a sale if you're wanting to sell your property, whether it's whatever kind of real estate it is, whatever we're talking about here, commercial or residential or whatever, you can get with an agent and do it that way. You and your daddy pretty much like the auctions, I think, but you're not against the other either.
No, we're not. We're happy to help folks with any real estate transaction, and there's ample agents in our office where if we are unfamiliar with something or haven't experienced a situation, there's other agents that can help guide us, and we all work together.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the lines we use here in our advertising, community trusted since 1977, and that is true. Jim Agee, Jerry Johnson actually started this, and Jay White, your father, is the owner now, but you got into this and seem to be enjoying what you're doing. So you're going to be carrying on, no doubt.
Yeah, I like to sell a little bit. You want to learn? You want to sell again today, Coleman? While I'm here, we can go back to the training wheels. All right, $1 bid now, two. How to give it two? MJ likes it. Look, she's like, "Come on, Coleman, get in there."
I think you need to go in there and teach her when we.
Maybe I do need to teach MJ. I need to lay off. I need to lay off Coleman. Go teach.
I'll
MJ.
tell you what. If you can teach her, then you can teach me.
All right, that's fair enough.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. And again, remember the 615-444-0909. They have a realtor for you at Agee & Johnson and Hayden White. Thanks for being with us today.
No problem. Before I go, I got to give a shout out to Delane Smith and CK Smith. They're just some great individuals.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell them that on the radio.
All right, well, great. Thanks so much for being with us. Hayden White for Agee & Johnson, and about 22 before the hour, and I already mentioned that Uncle Pete's going to be my guest, Pete Norman, Haywood P. Norman IV to be more exact, but I'll officially welcome you now.
Good morning, Wilson County and the surrounding areas. This portion of the program today is being brought to you by the Lebanon Veterans Center and my old buddy Coleman. Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning to you. Good to have you. And let me say this, that I called you when I got a message here that I'm going to read, because I had invited Greg Coleman, who is a candidate for school board, to be with us, and had tried to arrange to have him on, and we were communicating by text, and so he answered me and said, "Sorry, I won't be able to make that time. Schedule is limited for me, given all my prior commitments. Thank you for the offer." So sorry that he couldn't be with us. We'll have the other person in that race tomorrow in this time slot. But I needed a guest, and you always want to talk about veterans, so here you are.
Absolutely.
So what's going on? What's the latest?
There's nothing better to me than a good vet or a bad vet.
What are you talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about the Field of Flags, June the 29th through July the 4th. If you love somebody and you've got a lost person who was a veteran and you want to honor them, dedicate a flag. If you got a business that has veterans in your business, one of the best slap on the backs can be a business, 1 to 50 flags. And you can put those individuals who are veterans, or maybe even asked in your group, who has a father that was a veteran or an uncle that was a veteran, and dedicate that flag. That's a slap on the back that you can't take back.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is dog tags. That's one of the best gifts for a kid that there is. You can come down to our booth, and we'll make you a set of dog tags and put anybody's name on it you want. Or we can do it just like the military: name, rank, service number, date of birth, and religion. And, and take something home that you can wear around your neck or hang on your keychain. If you like to eat, pre-order your barbecue. We've got lip-smacking barbecue made by our veterans, and the day of the whole week that we're there, we're going to be selling sandwiches. So come by and get you one. Great lunch, great breakfast.
All right, where are you talking about?
Right there in front of the fairgrounds on the right-hand side, there'll be somewhere around 100 flags in the field, and that's another opportunity. You want to get your picture taken with something really patriotic? Come down, stand in the middle of the field, and have somebody take your picture.
Yeah, I think you've done this. I've seen this there before. This is not the first time. Yes, sir.
This is like our 7th or 8th year, something like that. One of our vets who's not with us anymore came up with the idea, and we started it. Mount Juliet does it. They do it a little bit different than we do. And then this has now become a benefit for the American Legion, Post 15, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 5015, the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1004, and the Associate Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1004. So all of the groups get into this, all of them benefit from this, but the ones that benefit are the ones that buy the flags.
Yeah.
Because you can either leave it with us and we'll fly it the next year, or you can take it home and put it in your yard, and you'll have pole and all.
So what's this money go for?
Usually for, well, not usually, all of it goes back into veteran programs to help and support veterans.
Okay.
We have
so
a food pantry.
It is in a way a fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It by no means it's a fundraiser, and everything that we make, all 4 of our groups, every bit of it goes back into our community.
Yeah.
We don't keep anything, and that's the beauty of the veteran. He's there for you. He was there for you a long time ago, and he's still there.
And this is an ongoing thing here for about a week, as you talked about.
Yes, sir.
Kind of culminating with July 4th, right?
Yes, sir. July 4th, we would like for people to pick up their flag after the commencement or after the retirement program on July the 4th, but we'll be there on the 5th too, tearing down. So if you don't, But if you don't come and get it, we're going to put it up.
Yeah.
We'll put it up.
Okay, well, keep all of this in mind, and you're here too to talk about the other thing that you always talk about, and I don't want to get into something here and have to interrupt it with the break. We're about a minute before the break time, but MJ, I think, is ready, and I'm ready, and you're ready, so let's take a break here.
Take a break.
On Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Get a battery installed on most vehicles. $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still some slow-go traffic trying to get up through Rutherford County this morning, all because of road work there on 24 westbound at Joby Jackson. Again, that's had traffic really slow for a couple of hours. It's really starting to pick up with more volume now on 65 southbound right there at Long Hollow Pike as you continue on down into the Madison area on 65 south. Still looks pretty good right now. It's just now starting to get heavy coming in from Wilson County to Mount Juliet area there into Hermitage. Princess Hot Chicken now offers DoorDash and Uber Eats delivery online. Check out the menu, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The cozy warmth after coming in from a chilly, pink-cheeked morning walk. The perfect man cave temperature to kick back and watch the big game. When the weather turns cold, a new Rheem heating system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Feel year-round comfort with a new HVAC system installed by the pros at Randy's Heat and Air. We're the local team you can trust. Call Randy's Heat and Air today at 615-237-3604.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane and Crowell. At the offices of Kane and Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane and Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
And we thank you for joining us, and welcome to our final segment for this Thursday. Pete Norman is here, and there's one other thing we need to say about the flags.
Yes, sir.
Flags.
If you come to the truck stop, you'll find our posters in 3 locations, one at the front door and 2 in the restaurant. You can take your telephone, point it at the little square in the right-hand bottom, and it'll take you right to our site. And you can order your flag right there on your telephone and pay for it all in one bolt.
By the way, what's it cost? I'm not sure.
Me, I think $30-something a flag, and then the more you buy, the better deals you get for the sponsors and stuff.
Yeah,
they've got 3 levels of sponsors. I believe goes up to around $3,000. But you can find all of that on our website.
All right, and it actually begins June the 29th and goes through July 4th, the Field of Flags at the Ward Ag Center, and it's very visible from the road as you pass by. It's just right over the fence, sort of. And
we have carloads of people that'll come up and stop, and come in and take their pictures. Mm-hmm. We had school groups going somewhere and see us, turn around, come back, pull in there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And kids run all through it. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the flag. We have some people there that are very knowledgeable in the flag that will explain to kids especially, what the meaning of the flag is. What is the red for? What is the white for? What's the blue for? Why is there that many stars? These are the questions kids asked. Why isn't it all red? Why isn't it all white? And we explain it to them. And we explain the significance of the flag. One of the most beautiful things, I think, is this flag retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
It is completely reverent to the flag. And we explain to the community there why we do this way. And the nylon flags we're no longer burning because they don't really burn. They melt.
Yeah.
And the odor, the fumes off is toxic. So we have a different way of disposing of the nylon flags.
I'll bet a lot of people aren't familiar with that disposal of a flag.
Yeah, we do it a couple of times a year. We have a flag retirement program. I've got right now 3 boxes. People bring them to the truck stop and give them to me. And then we lay them out. I've got a big table. I lay them out, and I fold them, tatter and all. It doesn't matter. I lay them out and fold them into a triangle for disposal. We don't just throw a loose flag into the flame.
Okay.
We literally present the flag and pass it on and put it into disposal.
And you do this, you say, a couple of times a year,
A couple
maybe?
of times a year, yes, sir. And if you'll listen, we try to get it publicized when we're going to do it. We've got Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts that come and help us with this. Mm-hmm. And any group is more than welcome to come and learn about why we do it this way.
How long would that be? It's in a way a ceremony, really.
It is a ceremony.
Yeah.
It's about an hour.
Yeah.
It's about an hour long, but it's extremely reverent to the flag. Mm-hmm. Everything we do it at attention. We pass it in a certain manner to the next person, who then passes it to the disposal. Every flag that we get, we fold. Every flag.
You have never explained that before, and there's things you told me just now, told us, I was not aware of at all. I had heard of the ceremony.
Yes, sir.
But that was about it, and I didn't know if it was just for one flag. I didn't realize that you do that way you can do that twice a year and get rid of a lot of
flags.
Yeah.
A lot of flags. And like I say, and people should understand, we will take the nylon flags. Mm-hmm. We have a method to dispose of them, but it's a different process.
Right.
But the cotton flags are the ones that we burn, mm-hmm. and that's the ones that's really your true flag. I hate to say that, but the 90% of your cotton flags are made somewhere else where they shouldn't be made, and that's never buy a flag that doesn't say "Made in the USA."
Oh, I guess we switch gears a little bit. Every time you're here, we talk about what you're doing for veterans and the old fire station that's being converted over Hartman Drive and the bypass. And so I guess it's time for a progress report on that.
Yeah, well, at our last board meeting, we have a need we're changing treasurers, and Van Turner is going to be our new treasurer. He's coming on board, and the lady that was our treasurer, she specializes in 501c nonprofit companies, but she's overloaded, and her husband has some issues, health issues. So she's stepping down, he's mm-hmm. stepping up, and that will pretty well get the board back in where it should be. We've got a progress thing. We've set up what we're doing and the directions we're going. We still need some just hands-on volunteers. I've got a lady that and maybe one other that are coming today. They're going to clean floors, clean the bathroom floors, clean the kitchen up, clean up some of the messes where we've been tearing things down. We still have
some of the remodeling.
Yes,
mess.
sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
We still need to finish tearing one wall out and closing in a door in another in that same area. So if you're good with a hammer and want to do a little something and in air conditioning, come on over. Call me 615-804-4404. I'll schedule you a time to come in. And once the full board meets again, we've got some bids on the bathroom, on tearing the bathroom out, the shower out, putting a wall in, and putting a men's side and a women's side fully handicapped. And then once that's done, then we're basically going forward open for business. We got to have all the facilities available when we fire up and go for broke.
Well, you have to have some kind of inspection and so on before you can actually officially open the doors?
Well, we will, and we'll have an open house. And when we have the open house, we're going to have a little music out there. I've got some people that want to come and play patriotic stuff, and we'll have a little music outside. We're going to do hot dogs and hamburgers. That'll all be free.
How far away are we, maybe? I know you don't know for sure, and anything could happen.
I'm hoping September or October.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it on October the 2nd. That's my birthday. We'll have a birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah.
And it's...
You joke sometimes, so that's why I want to make sure.
Yes. Somebody said the other day, are you disappointed? And I said, after 20 years, no. No.
Yeah.
I'm just so tickled that it is coming full all the way around. I'm just tickled to death. I just want to make sure it all comes around properly.
Well, you have said more than once your idea, your goal is to get this thing going and do what you're doing for a short period of time and then step aside and let somebody else.
The remainder of this year and one more year, and that's it. It's going to go to the younger people, younger than I am. I'm 77. And it's not for me. It's for the 9/11 forward. It's for the guys that were in Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran and Desert Storm and Desert Shield and all of these things. And the ones that didn't go, the ones that are at Camp Lejeune, or the ones that are at an Air Force base or Marine or Coast Guard base that are out and need help.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a gentleman the other day that his wife asked me to come over and talk to him at the table. I said, okay. And he is 81 years old. He was in the last part of World War II, just like my dad, but he was in Korea. And he was in some areas that the fighting was extremely intense. And he has never talked to anybody about it. He was one of that group in that age that they said, suck it up, boy. Don't cry. Well, sometimes you got to cry. Sometimes you got to just yell and get it out. Find you a veteran that will sit down, and all of us will. If you've got problems and you know somebody's a veteran, talk to them first. But we've got programs at all the veteran hospitals for you. What we're going to do is we're going to have programs here in Lebanon where you come. Mm-hmm. One of the best things I've ever seen in my life is AA. Hello, I'm Pete Norman, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm not. I don't even drink. But that, to me, was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. I have sponsored people in AA, and I go to the meetings with them, and I listen to them, and they'll call me at 2 a.m. And that's sort of the model that the VA has picked up. You're in a circle, and I'm Pete Norman, and I was in Vietnam, and I got PTSD. And they welcome you. And that's what we need. These young guys are biting the bullet and bottling this up. And where does it come? Just like me. My first wife caught HELL for me for years because I would explode. Somebody said, you're the most mild-mannered. And I said, you didn't know me back before I knew how to act with PTSD, how to get it treated. I had a heck of a temper, but it would come and go. And even with some of my employees, you could push the wrong button and you got not what you wanted.
Yeah. Well, by the way, how did your meeting with this gentleman? You said he's 81, I believe. How did that go?
With what? Oh, well, we talked for an hour and 35 minutes. Drank 3 cups of coffee. His wife actually got up and left and went shopping. We sat back in the back, and I got him an appointment with a counselor with VA in Murfreesboro, and they worked out a program. And he lives in Gallatin, and there is a program there, and he's got into that program. He joined the American Legion. He'd never joined anything. He said, when I got out, I didn't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He said, I just wanted to go home and have people leave me alone.
Listen, we've got a minute and a half, and I think you were wanting a van.
Yes, we still need a van terribly for the ladies veterans program. They've got a little car right now, and we actually had to tear it down, rebuilt it. It blew a head gasket, but they're in dire need of a van that they can take people to and from the hospital. We just lost another one a week or so ago. Already got VA has called us. We've got one possibly coming out of the hospital that'll go into. This is lady veterans. These are the ones that caught the raw end of the stick for a long time in the military, and nobody cared about them.
Well, once upon a time, you mentioned this on the air here, and I think somebody came through. So
yes, sir.
Maybe this morning,
yes,
this could happen.
I had a van, and I thank her every time I see her. We only put 535,000 miles on it before it rolled over and died.
Well, if you know of anybody, or if you could help, Pete's number 804-4404.
Yes, absolutely.
And give him a call. He'd love to hear from you.
Love to have one with a lift on it. So if you've got somebody that doesn't need it anymore, you lost a spouse or something, call me. 615-804-4404, or come see me at Uncle Pete's.
Well, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time, whenever that is. All right, that's it for Thursday. Join us tomorrow for the Friday edition. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.